Hello and welcome to the video. My name is Emily Rose. I run Shop Rose's Attic on Etsy and Instagram. And today we are going to be going through this enormous bag. It's mixed up jewelry and watch parts. I'm really not all that sure what all is in it. There's some things I can see, necklaces. I think this is some kind of slide bracelet down here. But just going to be going through this bag, seeing what's good, what maybe is garbage, and what I can put on my store. So I hope you enjoy watching along with me today. So let's see, I'm just pulling out random. First thing, this is just an empty tin. I have a bunch of these that came to me through a bunch of watch parts. It's actually part of why I'm wearing the gloves. A lot of the watches were a little bit dirty. Sometimes vintage jewelry is dirty. Pieces of ancient Scotch tape flaking off of that. That's likely gonna be garbage. I'm not sure what that would have originally held. This looks like it's either a pendant for a necklace, some kind of charm. Maybe I can find a necklace for that to go on. I'm not sure. Let's see. Poly bags, just loose poly bags mixed in. This, I don't know what this is. These look like buttons with little, if you can see that, little butterflies. I don't know if these are vintage. They almost look like cabochons. I'll need to look up and see what these can be used for. Sometimes I find more modern jewelry making things mixed in with these bags. So this might be something like that. Ooh, there's a watch in here. I'm hoping to get loose of whatever else this is. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Well, here we have, it looks like a tangled up rosary. These beads look like they're polished wood. It's marked Italy. That's kind of pretty. I do like to, let's see. Let me untangle it first. Some watch as well. Oh, it does have, I would assume that's the Virgin Mary. I'm not Catholic, so I'm not quite sure what normally comes with these. But that's really pretty. That probably will go up on my store. I do find a lot of crucifixes, like four-way medals, different jewelry items of religious significance, especially Catholic ones, in these bags. And they usually do pretty well, so I will be putting that up most likely. Pretty. After I clean it. This is a watch. Has the wristband still, which is exciting. A lot of the watches I have don't still have the wristband, and the wristband does not look too dirty. Maybe a little green, needs a little bit of cleaning. It says it's 10K. Let's see if you can see that here. 10K RGP, which would be rolled gold plate and a stainless steel back. So this would be gold, rolled gold. I oddly don't see a name of what kind of watch this is on here. Let's see if it works. I like to reset the time before I try to wind a watch, just so that if it starts to tick and if it's keeping time, it's easier to notice. Although this may not even let me set the time. Oh, there we go. I'll say that's a little less easy than normal. I don't know if it's just because I'm wearing gloves. I don't always wear gloves when I do these things, or if it's just how it's wound up in there. I don't feel like I'm turning it at all. It doesn't want to wind at all. It's a little, it seems almost like this watch that's inside of this is loose a little bit in the case. Like this wasn't its original case. It's not ticking at all. I kind of want to bust open the back just to see what kind of movement's inside of it. This is a watch knife, by the way. If you haven't seen my last video, which was all watches, this is a watch knife. It's really just used to take the backs of the watches off. This is also vintage. This was a gift passed to me by a family friend. So let me see what's on the back of here. Usually the back of these watches will say, let's see if you can see that. It says Avalon right there. So that would be the brand, Avalon Watch Co. It's actually pretty cute. It has little, if I can get it to focus, it has little stars on the gear. Ooh, but there is, something is coming out of that. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a wire, some part of this spring or something is coming out of it. So I might look up that brand just to see if it's one that is sought out. But this would be something I would be selling for parts or for somebody who wants a project watch, essentially, that they can repair themselves. Since it's not working and it does look like there's bits and pieces loose back there. But still pretty cute. Band's cute. Just a simple little lady's watch. Let me see. This came out with all that, with those two as well. This is just, it looks like a piece of wire that has beads on it. I find these in the jewelry bags I have all the time. I don't know exactly what they were meant to be for. If they were like at some point shaped into rings, if there was a bigger necklace or something they were a part of, I really don't know. I just know I have a lot of them. I see them a lot. I never know what to do with them. I'll likely start just throwing them away, unfortunately. Let's see. Another watch. This was not going to be a watch-centric video, but there's a lot of watches in here. This one's Timex. You can see where it has some jewels missing in it. A couple still in place. I would wonder if those are like chip diamonds that have been taken out and reused. It looks old, dirty. There's no crown. I learned the term since the last video. There's no crown or stem for me to try to wind this with, for me to test it. But it does have the full band. It's just not currently connected. It looks like it just needs to be bent back in place. It doesn't say on it anything particularly about the case being gold or anything. It just says that the back, let's see if it'll show, that the back is stainless steel base metal bezel. So that's nothing of any real interest on its own. But the watch itself, again, maybe I could put it up just for a little money, or a smaller amount of money, just for someone who wants a project, or someone who wants something that's inside. We'll see. This looks like it's early 2000s, maybe. This is like a little rope bracelet that's adjustable. It has this cross on it. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I'll put that with the rosary. That probably wouldn't be my biggest priority to list, since this does look a little bit newer than what I normally like to have in the shop. But it's cute. Just little sparkly thing. If anyone wants it, let me know. This is part of why I'm wearing gloves. There's just these, I think sometimes they're hairpins, sometimes they're just random pieces of metal, but they're everywhere in these bags. And I don't particularly enjoy getting poked in the finger. So that's probably gonna just go straight in the trash so I don't accidentally hurt myself on it. There was a bunch of new wire for jewelry making in here as well. I might put that aside for some kind of later use, more likely than selling it. I don't think that's enough to really tantalize anybody. Again, just wire mixed in. I don't know what this would have been. Whatever it is, it's broken now. It's It almost kind of seems like it could have been an earring, but there's no earring part to it. Or you know what? I bet this is some kind of like keychain or charm chain. Sometimes I find things that are like charms that go on old, kind of the old brick cell phones, things like that. And sometimes they have like wires on these and like these, and they have beads on them and charms. I don't even know how to get this apart though, how it is. So I'm really not sure. Most likely just going to go in the miscellaneous wire pile. What is this? Oh, this is pretty. This is a ring. It looks like this is just a faux rhinestone that's just been plopped in the middle, but it is very pretty. I don't see any markings on it, so that to me says it's not any kind of real metal, which would make sense again because that's clearly not a real jewel. If that was a real jewel, it wouldn't be just glued in. It normally would have like prongs holding it in place. It'd look a little bit better. But that's still very cute, just as far as a piece of costume jewelry. It's kind of fun. So I'll likely clean that up and put that up on my store as well. Let's see, just kind of reaching in randomly. This is an Omega ladies watch. If you can see that. I'm trying to remember more to get things in focus. Does not have any markings on the back to tell me about the case, but it does have the crown for me to set the time. It looks like it only has one hand. So I don't know that this would be a necessarily very helpful watch. But it is ticking. Can you hear it? It is ticking, but it does, like I said, it only has one hand. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't see like where a second one's broken off necessarily. You just wouldn't have to know what time it is, just I guess by the, that doesn't even quite make sense. It looks like it's just the minute hand. So part of that's missing. It does look like the face is kind of worn too, so this probably is pretty old or was pretty used. But still, that is ticking, so there might be something to that somebody would want just for the sake of the movement that's inside of it. So I'll set that aside too. What is this? This looks like an old, just like an old thing you would put around a bottle. It just says wine. Looks very, it's not corroded necessarily, but it definitely is aged. I'm not sure if anyone would want that. I think it's kind of cute, but I think a lot of strange things are kind of cute. So I'll set that aside. I don't know if that's something I will necessarily prioritize listing because it is pretty beat up, and at least as far as the visual, I'm not sure how many people that would appeal to aesthetically. Fix my glove here. This looks like just a random, let's see, yep, that's a magnet. That'll probably just get thrown away because it's not a part of anything. Let's see. This is again like one of those odd little charm things I find where I'm like, is it a pendant? Was it a charm? Is it a part of an earring? So it's cute. It looks like it's some kind of maybe Native American sort of pattern to it. I don't know what kind of significance that would be, if that's any particular design or if it's just meant to mimic what someone would expect like an indigenous pattern to be. I don't know what that is. I'll set it aside and maybe I'll find more of them. And if I find more of them, I'll probably assume it's earring related. But it likely is a charm. I can't make up my mind. Okay, I'll set that down now. This looks very fun. This necklace is like when you go to the dentist as a kid and they have those wooden block slide puzzles. This looks like they turned that puzzle into a necklace. It's very chunky, pretty simple, but that's kind of cute. I probably will actually clean this one up and post it. The necklace itself, this is string, not like a chain or anything. So sometimes I'm a little wary of those just because I don't want any of that to have dry rotted with age or anything like that. But this one seems to be in pretty good condition. And I think that's super cute. I can see like a Miss Frizzle type wearing something like this. So that'll likely go up. This looks like just a random belt or a watch buckle. Not sure what I would do with that on its own. Things like this, I try to like keep together thematically, and then I just sell them in lots for either people who are doing craft projects or somebody who, you know, has a particular need for a lot of things like this. So I'll set that aside. This is cute. This is like a little adjustable ring. Looks like it does need cleaned. Some kind of green stone, and then it's kind of a golden metal. Definitely I would not say this is real. It's definitely costume. That's cute. Especially once I clean it, it'll be cute. It does have a little bit of green on it right now. I'm not sure how old this is. I would assume this is more Y2K than anything. Some things, if they're like suspiciously too modern looking, I just won't list them. I'll just sit them aside for later. Or if I ever move to eBay, I might put them up. This one though, I would think could be early 2000s or 90s. So let's see. This is an earring, a plastic earring, pretty big. I mean, you can see in comparison to my hand. I would think probably 80s or 90s. Post is a little crooked. We could maybe fix that. Let's see, I think I saw where I have the other one too. Yeah. So that's a pair of earrings right there. Those might go up. They do need cleaned. They're white, and you can kind of tell that they've been through it since they're such a bright color. It's kind of easy to see where they need to be cleaned. But those will probably eventually go up still. This is pretty. It's marked Gruen. I don't know if you can see that. It's another women's watch face. Again, with only one hand. This one only has the hour hand, so the opposite of what we saw earlier. I don't know if I can set it still. Let's see. Yeah, so I got it pointed at midnight. Not that I think it'll show very much, although this you can see it's moving, but it's the minute hand. So this one, the hand is moving fast enough where you can see it, but the problem is you'll know the minute, you'll never know the hour. This one, you'll know the hour, it's a little harder to know the minute. So again, just how it is, it's not necessarily, I would not sell this as a functioning watch, even if it ticks, just like this one is ticking, just because you can't read it. Oh, I think it may tick though, so let me see. Give it a little wind. Be careful not to do any overwinding. And that one is ticking too. If you can hear that. Yeah, it does look really old. I mean, that design is crazy, right? Look at those numbers on it. I'd have to take the back off of this one to see how old it is, and maybe somebody would want it for just the movement. But again, I can't sell it just as working watch because it's missing a hand. So sad. Okay, what else do we have? This looks like it's just a chain. It doesn't have, oh, it just says Korea. You can't really see it in this lighting. I always look for if it has like a 925 on it or anything. But this is just a plain metal chain. Maybe I can put something on it. I kind of always think with chains like this of just setting them aside and making a lot out of them. Yeah, just an old metal. Now these are fun. Although one of them is broken. That's so sad. I may have to see if I have posts like this somewhere where I could replace it. But these are also, I would think, 80s or 90s earrings. They're very cute. Something about them, I don't know. I get mall food court vibes. I don't even know what that means. I just know that that's true. So I would have to fix this though, because you can't put that in your ear the way it is. Doggone it. Moving right along. It's okay. So this is something where I would say this looks 10 years ago old, not 20 years ago old. So I would just set something like this aside. I can't even tell. I think this is a bracelet. I'd probably just set this aside, and then, like I said, if I ever move to having like an eBay for newer items, this could go on it, but as it is, that's really, to me, saying 2014, not 2004. So that'll just get put aside for now. I'm sliding everything up. This, ooh, there is a magnet on this, unrelated to it. Put that with the other magnet to get pitched. This just looks like a rusty grape. You know, your run-of-the-mill rusty grape. I don't know where this would go. I don't know what this would be for. It doesn't have anything on the back that like makes me think it's stuck to something. Maybe it was. Maybe this is just like something that you stick on the side of a box or a wall in a Tuscan kitchen. I'm not sure. This will probably not get listed unless people ask me to, because I'm not really sure what the purpose would be. It is pretty rusted too. You can see it turning my glove orange. Oh well. Not everything is a winner, and that's okay. This is the glass of a watch. I already have like a lot of things like this started, so this will just get added to that bunch. I clean these things before I sell them anyway, but it really is just for parts, or more likely for crafts, since this glass is so clouded. Any steampunk friends who want to do something with that? I'll reach deeper into my bag. Pull something out. Ooh. It's like a clown's handkerchief. It just keeps coming out. This is kind of pretty, actually. This is like a bluey green teal necklace. Some of those beads are really sparkly. Looks like some of them, I do think this is definitely old. I mean, you can tell some of these like metallic beads, the paint's worn off a bit. I'm trying to just untangle it, because it does have this tie at the top, which I'm hoping does not mean that it's broken anywhere and just tied back together. Nope, it's a whole piece. That is, I don't know if I can show all of it at its full length on camera, but that is all one chain. That is pretty fun. I probably will clean this up and list it and just make the note that some of the beads are a little worn because it's old. There's no metal in it for it to be precious metal. It just has a little Little metal clasp. Not sure what year that would be. Maybe 80s? Maybe earlier? I don't know. With long necklaces like this, I'm never quite sure where to put them in time. But it's cute. These beads especially, I think, are pretty cute, if you can see that. They're just kind of a really unique shape. They're almost like seashell-y patterned. I'm not sure. I'll put that aside too. Let's see. Another necklace. This one is a lot more simple. This is just a regular sort of bead. It actually seems almost like a faux pearl because they aren't perfectly round. And they're this silver. No clasp on this. It's just the beads. I might put this with some other beads and sell it as a set. On its own, I don't think that that's worth very much. Or I don't know if there's a real demand for that. But it's cute. It's a little shorter than the last one, but it's still long. It's like Mardi Gras beads. Almost. See, other things are busting out. This, I don't know how these are also mixed in here. This would be a watch part if there's anything in it. Let's see. There is something in it. So these I do list when there's something in them with photos because I don't always know exactly what I'm looking at and I want to make sure it's the same. It's what the people are buying, that there hasn't been some other random part placed in this kind of container. But yeah, there's a lot of these. They almost look like little Lego pieces, these boxes. But you can buy them. I mean, just for vintage watch repair, I guess they have all the information for the people who are looking for this piece. They know what they're looking for and they know what to Google. So that'll definitely go up eventually. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. Here is another long necklace. This is definitely faux pearl. It is also, unfortunately, definitely broken. This one, this strand looks like it's supposed to go right there. Just a shame because all the little rhinestones are still in it as well. And then this would plug in to the other side. And then it's a 2-strand event. Although this also may be broken. It looks like this end does not have a proper clasp either, which stinks. I do have a lot of old faux pearl. I've kind of thought to just, again, put them, like a big set of them together and sell them all together for anyone who wants them for like a crafting project. But that, I don't know that there's any way to really fix that since it would have been tied on at the end originally, and there's no retying that. So that'll go in the not quite sure yet what to do with that pile. This is like a little Christmas wreath. It looks like it was a pin, but the back is broken, so that's sad. I'm not quite sure what I'd do with that. It's pretty, but can't sell just straight up broken jewelry. This watch I've actually seen in this jumble before. This watch is Mary Kate and Ashley, if you can see that. I think it's definitely battery powered, so I'm not even going to try to wind it because it won't do anything. I'm not sure if this still works. I'm not sure if people still want Mary Kate and Ashley watches. But that's when I see a name like that that's so of a specific time in pop culture, I do always look it up because I think it's interesting. I think it's fun to see a Mary Kate and Ashley watch, and I figured maybe there's somebody out there who's still looking for something like that. It's got this pretty pink metallic and a bunch of diamonds on the inside. Very, very of its time. It's cute. Let's see what else. Random metal. Oh, it bends. It feels crunchy when it bends. I don't know how to explain what that sensation was when I just bent that open. I have no idea what this would have been for. It looks like it's been cut if it was not just made that way. No idea. That's going to go in the mystery metal I don't know what to do with group. This, I don't know what's up with this. This is looks like a charm of some kind. Crusade, has a fleur-de-lis and the Virgin Mary. Has Jesus on the back. I assume this is just a vintage, like a Christian emblem. I'm not really familiar with the symbols on it. I don't know if this is like a Greek Orthodox thing, but I'll look that up before I list it, just because I've not seen something like this. And it looks almost like military to me, even though it's religious. So I really don't know. I guess a crusade would be military. I don't know what that's about. So I'll look that up. And if it looks like something that people would want, it'll go up. It feels almost, it's metallic, but it also feels really lightweight. Like it's just aluminum or something. Like it almost doesn't even feel like it's really metal. It has no like heft to it. When's the last time you said the word heft? I just said the word heft. This is a Bulova watch. Watch band included. It says on the back, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. It says it is 14K rolled gold plate, so that's always nice. I don't see a date stamp on the case, which normally they do. I'd wonder if I bust this open, if it's older. I have found working Bulova watches that are from the 50s where they don't have the date stamp on the back. They only have it on the movement, and it's like a shape rather than just a serial number. So I'm going to wind this a few times and listen to it. That one's working. If you can hear it, that one's working. It's funny, I think I found more working watches today than I did when I did my video going through a bag of watches. But this one does have both hands as well, so that's a really good sign. I actually will take the back off this just to see what it says. Since it's both working and it has all the parts and it has the wristband, those are all good signs for me. Ooh. I don't know if you can see that. All of that just came off in one big chunk. Like it's so corroded I can't even separate the back from the movement. That's not good. It's ticking. I don't know if it would stay ticking for very long. I would love, this face looks so old too. I would love to try to get these separated. I don't know how much I should fixate on that right now. But let me see with what I have this little like straw cleaning brush that I sometimes try to use to knock off a little bit of the corrosion like this. I want to see what's in the back. But it's like all around, and I really don't want to hurt the face of the watch while I do this. It may not be worth it. I think actually it is just sitting in the, okay, I see what's happened. So it's not that the back is stuck to it, it's that it's sitting within the back, like it's encased in it, which is actually a good sign, because that means that corrosion isn't necessarily in the watch itself. I just wonder if I can wiggle it out enough to look. I don't know if I want to risk it. I don't know if I want to risk hurting the watch since it's ticking, or the watch face. Let me see. Be really careful. I might have to take off my gloves even though this is dirty just to look. Oh, is that in focus? Oh wow, it's fine on the inside. Minus me touching the front of it. Let's see. Wow, do you see that? Oh, it was moving. I think I keep touching parts of it that make it stop. Let's see, Bulova Swiss adjusted 17 joules. 6 a.m. or GAM. Has this odd little, almost looks kind of, I don't know if I can get this in focus to show you. It's very small, so I'm not sure if I can actually really show it to you, but it's almost like, I want to call it like a squid, but it's like a Greek letter is on it, which to me means this is very old. After the 50s, I believe it is, Bulova stopped putting their, after I think it was the 50s, Bulova started making their serial numbers for the date became a lot more regular. I'm gonna sit this aside. It's back in its case, so there's nothing gonna happen to the back of the movement. But I'm gonna kind of scrub this a little bit before I put it back in. I don't want any of this to get in there while it's working. Oh my gosh. I may actually stop the video just to look that up so I can tell you, so you're not left in suspense as to what year that is, but that is pretty neat. Okay, so after a quick Google of the symbol I saw on this watch, I always use, if you're ever taking part of Bulova watch or you want to know how old your Bulova watch is, I use mybulova.com. They have a guide for all the different date stamps that they've used throughout time. The one that is on the back of this is either 1930 or 1940. It looks like they used the same symbol twice for 2 different years, but that's what it looked like. And I mean, I do believe it. This does look very old. The face, you can tell, is kind of worn. That is the oldest Bulova watch that I have knowingly found, so that's pretty exciting for me personally. And it also is working, which is amazing. I mean, you can see that the time has changed. 5 minutes have passed, and it reads 5 minutes on the clock. So I would definitely probably make a note when I list this of that it probably does need to get taken in to be professionally cleaned. It probably could use some service, but that it is working. And so this is not just vintage. I normally, when people ask, I say I sell vintage products. This would be considered antique because it's more than 80 years old. 1940 would mean it's, what would that be? That would be 84 or 85 years old. Or it could be, if it's 1930, I'm not really quite sure how to tell the difference. I'll have to look into that. But if it's 1930, then it's 94 or 95 years old, which is amazing that it still works. I mean, how many people can say that they still work after that much time, let alone something so small that was put in a Ziploc bag? I think that's really great. There is a serial number on the back too I can look up later. I don't know that necessarily this band is original to it. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like links have been added. If it is original, I'm amazed. I don't know if they had this kind of stretchy band material happening once upon a time. Plus it looks pretty new. But pretty new in this case probably still would be 70s or 80s. So yeah, there you go. That watch is probably older than, or as old as your grandparents. And it works. That one will be going up after I do a little bit more digging onto that serial number and anything else I can find out about that that watch in particular. That's pretty fun. Not to jump straight into another one. This one's a Caravel or Caravel. It says base metal bezel, stainless steel back. It says on the actual watch band, let's see if you can see it. It's a little hard to read. It's hard for me to read with my eyes, let alone to show the camera. But it does say USA Duchess 1/40th 10K roll gold plate. So this band also has some gold in it. Let's see if it works. I gotta first set the time, as I always do. It does have both hands. We're back on the both hand train, thank goodness. I'm gonna just wind it a few times. This glove is split open, by the way. If you've noticed it already, I'm gonna just acknowledge it's split open from rolling these like this. Let's see. If you can hear that, that one was also working, which is great because it has the band and everything. It does have some kind of, it says N3 on the back. I'm not sure what that means for Caravel. For Bulova, that would mean 1973, but I'm not sure what their dating system is. I don't have as much experience with it. I don't find as many working Caravel watches. But yeah, that's pretty nice. That'll go, that'll get added to the to be listed pile for sure. I mean, need to clean it, of course. I mean, I always clean everything, but also this band is a little stiff in places. So I'd want to make sure that whatever is adding to that I clean out so somebody doesn't, you know, have trouble just putting on their watch. That one's working. They're all working. You can see this one, I guess it's been half an hour. Oh my God. For the Omega, you can see where the minute hand is now. For this Gruen, you can also see it's been half an hour because the hour hand is just about halfway between midnight or 12 and 1. That one's still ticking for sure. I forget, this Timex I don't believe was ticking. I'm trying to keep it now organized. Oh my goodness. This one was not working either. No. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 working watches, 2 with bands, one of which, and maybe more of them are very old, but this one especially very old. I'm excited for those. I can't contain myself if you can hear how jazzed I am. I always love finding anything like that in, because I mean, and there's still a lot in this bag, but in just a mixed bag of random things like this, it's always amazing. Gonna move away from the watches for a minute. This looks like some kind of key to something that probably no longer exists. I do have a ton of old keys, so this will probably get added to a huge lot of old keys in the future. I just need to gather everything up and kind of organize it. Let's see. Now it feels like there's mostly watches in here all of a sudden. I'll try to pull a couple things that aren't. This is a pendant. It's clearly, of course, a cross. I don't know if you can read it because it's very scratched up, but it does say, it's very lightly etched. It says forever on the cross. It seems like I've sold one of these before. I'm not sure what I'd do with this because, again, you can see it's pretty nicked up. Maybe that'll go with a group of a couple other things like that. Who knows, maybe that could even be a freebie for someone who buys something like the rosary over here. But it's another one to add to the religious pile. This is a gross sticker. I think it had a cabochon, so I guess this was in something at one point, of Mr. Winnie the Pooh. I think Winnie the Pooh's a boy. I don't know. This is probably trash. I'm just going to go ahead and say this is probably trash, although it is very cute. I love Winnie the Pooh. Ooh, I haven't seen one of these. It's red. One palette fort complete. Let's see if there's anything inside of it. Let's see if I can get the little protector off. Oh, sad. Oh, no, there is something in there. Do you see that? It just looks like it got stuck underneath. I'm going to try to very carefully put that back where it was. Eek. Without handling it too much directly. I don't know if that is all of the part that is listed. It says Elgin on the inside of this lid. I don't know if you can see that. So I would assume this is an Elgin part. I actually have not noticed that on these, and now I'm going to have to check all of them to see if they say what part specifically they're for. I always, like I said, I take the photos of the inside too, just in case they aren't what they say on the outside. So then the person knows what they're buying. Let's see what else. This is cute. This is like a little choo-choo train, toy train keychain. Try saying that 5 times fast. Toy train and keychain. I don't know if this is any specific train. I don't know when this is from. Part of me wonders if this is newer, but I think it could just as easily be old. I don't know. It's cute though. I'll probably use Google Lens and look this one up and see. I mean, if there's like where you can order 100 of them on eBay or Amazon, then I'll know it's not old. But if I can't find anything, I'm gonna guess that's early 2000s or 90s or somewhere in there. It's cute. This is cute as well. This is a little bit of costume jewelry. Looks like blue, red, yellow, green, and blue again. It's not quite a rainbow. It's marked brass on the inside. It's just a little simple. It has this odd little back to it. I guess this was probably just poured in a mold maybe, and maybe that's where they started the pour from. Does not fit me with the gloves, but it is cute. That might be a fun little piece to put up as well. I'll put that in the eventually pile. Anything you see, if you're like, oh, that one's the best one, please tell me in the comments which one you think is the best so I know how to prioritize getting these clean and getting these up, because there is quite a lot here. And I love the feedback. Let's see, this is another Bulova watch. The back, it says L4. I would have to look up. That's a more regular date code to see, so I would say this is probably not 70s. It seems like 70s, it's an N, but maybe 60s, maybe 80s, I'm not sure. This is a Champion band as well, I just noticed, which sticks out to me. Somebody commented on the last watch video that the Champion bands are something to look out for. So this one's a Champion band. I'll have to look more into what that means. See if this watch works. 2, 3, 4. Let me see. I think that is ticking. Listen. It's very faint. It may not have wound it enough, but I do believe that one's working too. So that's another one to add. It actually is pretty, it has these like raised, like the time where it says the numbers, they're kind of raised a little bit. And they're this gold color, it's pretty. Let's see. This, what is this? This looks like an old slide bracelet. I would guess at least I would guess 2000s just based on the way they have the laptop. That looks like a laptop to me. So it looks like it's all like back to school themed. Like you have books, you have, what's that? Like rulers, art supplies, maybe a globe, a computer, almost like library themed. Looks like all the pieces are there. This one will probably also definitely go up. I think that's cute. It's a little slide around bracelet. That'd be really great for like a teacher. I could see that being a good gift for someone who's a teacher. If you're a teacher and you're watching this and you're like, I would hate that, please comment and let me know. I may be stereotyping that and assuming teachers love teacher themed things. Who knows? But cute regardless. A little bookwormy kind of thing. I'm starting to run out of room here. I'll pan up a little bit. I've got things overpouring this way, and now they're starting to come back down this way. Let's see what else. We're getting toward the bottom now where it's just the most random. Like, we're getting kind of random. So I'm going to try to just get through the rest of this. Some of this might just be me shaking the bag at the end and saying this is going to be considered like watch glitter or something. But let's see. I see. Ooh. Okay. All right. Not to get too fixated on what's in the bag. Pulling things out of the bag. Focused. We're focused. Timex. Let's see if it sets the time. This is the first men's watch we found today. Has both of the things to attach a strap, but it doesn't have a strap with it. Most of my watches don't have straps with them. So today's been interesting. Okay. Ooh, well, let me put it back. It doesn't say anything particularly about, oh, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can wind this with my torn glove. It doesn't feel like it's wanting to turn at all, which to me says it's probably overwound. Yeah, I don't hear anything. I'm going to assume that's not working. I do sometimes just take a bunch of these that aren't working. Especially like with a brand that I have a lot of, like Timex, and I'll just throw them in a lot. For anyone who wants to use them for parts or for projects, that's just going to go set aside. Not one of the winners, but not bad. I'm not mad to have found that Timex. Pulling out this one because it's an interesting shape, or at least it looked like it from the outside. This is Timex 2. The green in it is making me a little wary because I was warned on my last video about radium dials. I don't really think this is one though. I don't know that I have any that are. Let's see. I don't have any, there's nothing marked on it. I think that those all would have been made in an era, anything that has radium in it would have been made in an era of watches that I don't have very many of. So I'm not super worried about it. I can't get this, the crown to move at all to even set the time. So that would probably get thrown in a lot too, of just like broken watches. Do with what you will. Glue them to your car. I don't know. Live your joy. It's just a bent up, looks like the inside of a watch part somewhere. Ooh. This is a Burin or Burin. Has something on the front. It almost looks like some kind of glue or wax. Let's see. Time sets. I hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep having winners. This definitely needs cleaned. It has gunk on it. It does say 10K RGP, which is again real gold plate. But bezel. It has this interesting little symbol on the back. I don't know what that is, if that's the logo for this brand. I don't know if you can see that. My camera has a hard time focusing with these little shiny text parts, but it's kind of interesting. I would need to look into these. I don't really have a lot of this brand to know a lot about them, but a working watch is a working watch. And I'm happy about all of them. This looks new. I don't know what this is, but it looks new. In fact, actually, I have a guess as to what this is. This, to me, this is going to sound strange, but I believe this is a necklace with maybe a sonic screwdriver charm on it from Doctor Who. A lot of these old bags of jewelry came from my grandma. She had a jewelry store for a time. She also just, a lot of these things, there's personal things mixed in. It's just a huge mix. But I know that at some point she, when I was much younger, got me a Doctor Who themed necklace, and this looks somewhat similar. So I wonder if she'd gotten more to put in her store, and they just never made it out of the bag, and then they got mixed up in all this stuff. So that's why I always keep my eyes peeled, just to make sure that whatever I'm looking at is actually vintage. But hi, for the eBay, for the future eBay, maybe, who knows. This is part of a, oh gosh, it's falling apart. This is part of a pocket watch, it looks like. It says General Watch Co. down here, Swiss. But that is incomplete, and this is not wanting to stay. In fact, I don't even know if that goes to that, the way it's just jingling around. So that's going to get set aside. I have a ton of pocket watch parts. Again, I'll probably just put them together in a lot eventually, because I don't know nothing about I don't know anything about how to put them back together, or what is missing what. Like, there's just gears falling off. This just had a little gear fall off of it. This has actually got a lot of things going on with it. This is another pocket watch. It says Vallon. Who knows? It's Swiss. Probably not Vallon. I can't tell what's just like gotten shook up into it. This came off it somewhere. Or it acted like it came off of it. Who knows with what all's in this bag. But this just, unless these are two pieces, are these two pieces stuck together? No, they're screwed in. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. And that's where I'm like, I cannot, I just have to give this to somebody else, because I don't know what I'm looking at. There's so many little places where little gears will go, or maybe jewels are supposed to go, and I'm not a horologist, so that gets set with the other one for now. No idea what this is. This is going in the random pieces of metal area, because I think, if anything, I think this is maybe part of a band from something random. I keep in everything in these videos, it feels like. Okay, this, again, just part of a broken band of something. You can see where the ends are. No markings on it to tell me if this is like gold. It's really shiny and very, like, it has like engraving, or it's stamped or something, where it looks very intricate. But for now, it's just a hunk of metal. I'm gonna try rapid fire some of this. This is another Gruen. It looks like it says Veritron, maybe. And let's say Gruen Gildite base metal. Okay. I don't know how old these Gruen watches are. This one is very pretty, though. If you can see the handles, and the red little second hand. A lot of these smaller watches don't have second hands. It's very cute. Very thin is what that says. Gruen very thin. Date set. Oop. You can hear it wind. Something's clicking. I don't hear it ticking though. I don't think this would be something with a battery. But I mean, you would be able to see with the second hand. You'd be able to see that move. And it's not. I don't want to overwind it. And oh yeah. That one's very cute. I wish that worked because it's very pretty. Maybe it is just, it takes a battery. I don't want to take the back off of this one at this point. But all the pieces are there. It's very sweet. Sweet little thing. I'd probably still sell that eventually, just with the note that it needs service, that it doesn't work as it is. Look at all our ticking watches. Let's see. This is getting to the what are we looking at category here pretty quick. Earring. Looks almost like hand painted or enamel earring. I would guess 80s or 90s. Has some kind of mark on it that I can't read. Looks almost just like a copyright or something. But there's one. Watch. Little linky pieces. And this one actually says it's gold. Bulova and Elgin. It says it on them. But those will get put in a lot because again they're just parts. The other earring, we found her. Those are cute. I'll probably polish those up and put those up eventually. I think this gear went over here. Let's see. This is what we're looking at, or rather, this is what we're looking at of what's left. It is random. So let's see. The last kind of few things we can salvage. I mean, I keep saying like, oh, we must be at the end of this. But then I keep finding things that are separate. This is basically, it has written on it something out of poise. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it's garbage. I don't know why you'd keep it if it's garbage. But that one I don't know if I'll open. Let's see. I can't get it open. I can't get that open with my gloves at the moment. It's on too tight. I'll look at that later. This one's Hallmark 21, it says. Which is interesting. I don't know if that's like Hallmark like the card people. Let's see. It has that same strange little symbol on it that one of the earlier watches had. I'm not sure what that means. Please don't be radium. I am now, since learning about radium dials, I am now paranoid about radium. But let's see. Oh. Well, that just came out of its case completely. But will it turn? It's another one that I think is working. I can see it moving in there. I don't know if you would be able to see, like, through that little hole. You see the little flashing? That's the watch working. I guess I'll try to put this back on. I don't know why that came off so easily. I think I just hit it wrong. It snaps in fine. And there you go. That's another working one. I've not seen anything Hallmark brand in anything I have yet, so we'll have to see what that means in a watch. I'm not really sure. This looks like a pin. I was really hoping to find a lot of pins actually, and this is the only one I think I've seen Seems like it's plastic. What does it say? Knobby. What? What? Knobby Crafters. I think that's whatever that is on the back is just like who produced the actual pin. I don't know what this is indicating. Feels like it could be religious or like some kind of community organization. Doesn't have a back, but that's fine. I have plenty of backs I could put on it. No idea. Feels very light, like it's probably plastic painted to look like metal. Let's see. Another Timex. I'm gonna have watch finger. I don't know what that it means, but I'm gonna have it after this from winding everything. So the time set, but that does not wind at all. That feels like it's overwound. So that one's not gonna work. CHR plated bezel, stainless steel back, chromium? I don't know. Who knows? This one, the back's also trying to pop off on me, but I will not let it. And that one's another one that would just go in a lot of women's watches. All right, I'm back after a change of gloves. The split was getting a little uncomfortable. So let's see what else we have. Just at the very end of this bag. Let's see. Ooh, what on earth? This looks like a little pendant or charm. It looks like a little kitty cat. That's cute, but it is missing some jewels. So I'm not sure what I'll really do with that. But it's cute. Getting down to where there's not a whole lot left to look at. Oh, empty case. I have been putting these aside. It says Acme on the inside. I've been putting these aside to put them again in just a big lot later. Let's see, a watch face. This one, Young Hans. I assume is how you pronounce that. 17 jewels. I'll go in my lot of watch faces I'm starting. Another just piece of the glass of a watch. Random trash. Oops. Oh gosh. Another piece of glass off of a watch. This one. This is a Geneva marked ladies watch. Let's see. This is 10K rolled gold plate again, so that's cool. Let's see if it actually works. Set it to midnight. And wind it a couple times. Ooh. Oh, that dial's very sensitive. The crown is very sensitive. Didn't want to let me turn. It's not really wanting to let me turn it very much. I don't hear any life in that, but still can go in a lot. I suspect although I really can't say, I didn't expect to find any working watches in this lot, but I expect we found the end of them. This is cute, a little enamel. Looks like it would have been a pendant if it had another, like a jump ring on it. I have a couple things of this same type in my shop, so I might try to find a jump ring to put on that to sell. I have this watch is Nassau. I don't know how you'd pronounce that. This one is also rolled gold. So let me see if I can. Sets the date. They have both hands. Of course, that's always a good sign. Let's see. Ooh. It's winding. I spoke too soon. That one is also ticking. So that'll go in the pile that is now forming over here of all of the working watch faces, or excuse me, watches. not just the face. This looks like part of some kind of watch band. Really just nothing at this point. Let's see what else. I think we're getting to the point of, I think they sometimes call it watch glitter, where it's just gears and, you know, just all the mess of things that can go into a watch, but now the watches they went to are long gone. This looks like, what is this brand? Croton Thin Est. Okay, it seems like we had one of those earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yes, in fact, maybe this may actually have been one I looked at with before I got my gloves back on. It is not ticking. It also feels a little like loose inside the case, and I couldn't get it set exactly to midnight or to noon. Like where it sets is off, if that makes sense. So still can be used for parts, hopefully. All right, here's another Bulova. We've had good luck with those today. 10K rolled gold plate. Has a cute little face. Let's see. Get it set back to 12. It's clicking like it's winding. That one is ticking too. I also still don't see a date stamp on this one, so I wonder if this one's also older. Let's see. Get my little watch knife out. Just gently kind of take that back off. Oop. And just sort of gingerly lift it out of this case. This one is not as corroded as the other one was earlier, so that's good. You can see it ticking. Let's see. Oh, come on. There we are. Let's see. I'm looking for any kind of mark on here that'll tell me the date of the watch. Looking for any kind of mark. Looks like there's something there. It looks like it says 4B or 48. So this might be 40s. What is the only mark I'm seeing? I'll have to look up later. I believe that would be 48, like 1948, but we'll have to double check. I'll be double checking that before that goes up anywhere, along with all the other watches that are more ambiguous in date. For now, back in its case. Maybe. There we are. Let's see. Just looking at what's even worth trying to pull out now. So this, again, Bulova. Again, this one's Bulova. It's actually kind of fun. It has like this almost like corrugated gold little rivets. This one's 10K gold filled. This is an L0 or LO, maybe 60, 1960. I'd have to double check that one. Let's get the time set. Time set's just fine. Get a wind up going. Another working watch. That one's really cute. Of course, I prefer them with with the wrist strap, but hey, if it's working and if somebody else can easily buy a chain for it, why not? Let's see. Random. We got backs of Timexes. Anything else of interest? This looks like garbage. It's part of a band. Another little buckle thing. I was actually looking for something like this the other day for myself. Buckle. Buckle, buckle. Buckle. Tiny part and buckle. I think I don't know what that one's called. That piece. Just a random part of a watch. I'll just sit that down. In fact, I think the rest of this is going to be kind of random parts of watches, if you can see in there. See if I can even zoom in a little. It's a lot of gears happening. A lot of gears. This looks like a little button. It's a sunflower. That's cute. But other than that, I think it's mostly... Oh, no, there is a key as well. Another key to add to the key pile. Looks like there's some like parts of movements in here. They aren't complete. Lots of... Really just seeing if there's anything that isn't watch related in here that I can spot. Little beads, just broken pieces. Let's see. Another one. There's a bead. What is this? Some sort of dragon? Bearded, horned, winged creature. Not quite sure. Smart STER on the back. I don't know if that's like sterling. Strange looking little guy. But the rest of that I am going to go ahead and call. Oh, there's a little glittery bead. The rest of this I am going to go ahead and call essentially watch jewelry. I mean, we have little pieces like parts of the case of the watch and things like that. I think this is glass for a Bulova, a digital watch. I have other Bulova branded digital watches that this kind of looks similar to. But the rest is just gears. I'll show you a little closer. Gears and parts. They're just loose. Some of which are marked like rolled gold. I mean, that would really be scrap at this point. Oops. This is either scrap or crafting at this point. Especially all the gears. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's, and there are like ends of necklaces in here, things like that too. But maybe some of this would be reused by somebody who knows what all the little differentiating details. It does look like there's some watch faces in there still. I might pull that out actually. But that is the end of the bag though, is all just little tiny pieces really that I don't want to empty out onto my desk completely at this point. I might pull some of these out sometime, put them through. I have a sonic cleaner, something to just knock the grime off of them, and then put them in a bag and list them by the ounce or something. There's sequins in there, everything. So that is what we pulled out today. It's not even all of it on camera at this point. I'm really excited for a lot of these pieces. I think the highlight, definitely this Bulova, this 85 or 95-year-old watch. I'm very excited to be looking more into that and to get that posted. Other highlights, jewelry-wise, honestly, the sleeper hit for me is definitely this wooden giant bead necklace that just makes me feel, I don't know, like I'm back at the library in first grade. I think that's super fun. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, most of these pieces that aren't just like complete scrap are going to be on my vintage shop soon, Shop Rose's Attic on Etsy. You can find that shop link in the description of this video. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It's the same, Shop Rose's Attic. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time.